everybody, welcome back to my creative space. This is Emma. Another chilly, wild, wintry day out there, but in here we're just going to be comfy and cozy and warm and snug, and I hope you are too, wherever you are in the world, whether it's summer where you are maybe, or springtime or something. Well, no, we're in springtime, so possibly autumn for other people in other hemispheres. So thank you. I wanted to say a huge thank you for all the beautiful comments you left on my giveaway video, which would now be like 2 weeks ago, and I just want to say wow, you left me such beautiful comments. I loved reading them all. I got such a lot out of them, and I have to say my heart was touched by them. You know, you wrote beautiful things, and thank you very much for sharing those things with me. And it was just lovely. As I say, each day there was another comment, and it just went, oh, that's beautiful. So thank you for joining in, thank you for sharing, and thank you for being here. And if you're new to the channel, you know, I'm sorry if you missed the giveaway, but you know, who knows, I may do another one day, and you might be able to join in with that one. So I've drawn out the winner, and I'll show you a little clip of me doing that. So I wrote everybody's names down on a piece of paper, cut them up and put them in a hat, basically, and pulled the names out of the hat. The name, I should say, out of the hat. So again, thank you so much. I'm not going to announce the winner on here because I think it's kind of, not everybody wants to have their name broadcast on YouTube. So I'm again very grateful to you, and thank you to everybody who went and had a little look at my shop, and if you bought something, that's wonderful. It's a real help to me to support this channel, because I really want this channel to be free. I don't want to be thinking about monetizing and all that sort of stuff that other people do. To me, this is a part of my creativity. It's my creative space here, and my videos are part of my process as an artist. And I just love sharing with you. You know, I get such joy from your comments, just joy from knowing you're out there and that I'm able to share stuff. And if it inspires anybody to have a go at something, or it just makes you have a nice little bit in your day, got some relaxation, something nice to watch, then that's fantastic. I adore making the films, and I love being here with you. So big thanks. So we're getting on with this piece today. Obviously I did some embellishing last week, and we've seen how it's turned quite like into a yellow river with a bit of green fringing. No idea where it's going today, and it's part of my process at the moment is I just don't want to know where it's going really. I'm stepping into the unknown, and I'm finding that more and more in my life. That's what I'm doing. Obviously I have to plan some things, I have to organise some things, but this is like a space where I don't have to do that. My creative space, my creativity is a place for just freedom really, to do what I want to do and feel into it. And I appreciate not everybody wants to work that way. It's absolutely fine. I used to plan everything to a T and know exactly what I was doing, but I'm just really enjoying this at the moment, and then we'll see where it takes us. So I'm going to get on now. We're going to get the embellisher out and get some more colour put down on this little piece and see where it's going to take us today. So let's get the fabric underneath the machine, line it up a bit, and we're going to go for a bit of this. We'll see what it's going to do. Now the question is, are you going on top of the yellow? No, I think you're going underneath the yellow, so let's just pop you under there. I'm not quite sure how much it's going to scrunch. I suspect it's going to scrunch quite a bit. Do you know, it doesn't matter how many times I do this, or how many pieces I cut up, or how many times I embellish anything. It always excites me to see how it's going to work, you know, how that fabric's going to connect with the other fabric, what the contrast is or whatever. So pull that up a little bit and get embellishing underneath. Gosh, it's so funny. The wind is blowing out there. I don't know if you can hear it on the camera, and it's pouring down with rain. I've actually been out shopping this morning. It was really cold and wild and wet. Not very pleasant, but I can hear the birds singing. So spring is actually on its way Now I think it's quite interesting actually how this starts out as really quite pale somehow against the yellow, but by embellishing it, it creates a depth of colour because it's scrunching it all up. Somehow it's making it a bit stronger colour, which I think is quite interesting. So I'll do some more of this and I'll show you it when I'm a little bit further down the track, as I say. Okay, so I think I've got enough of the blue on for now, and I'm going to start with this lovely silvery colour next, I think. Little pieces, just going to start here. We'll see what it does. There we go. There we go. First piece of silver in place, and who knows where it's going. This piece might just go here like this. I need to roll this up a little bit, it's getting a bit unmanageable. So I'm just still picking out pieces and embellishing them down, fitting them in like a piece of a jigsaw. It's really satisfying because with every little piece that I put on, the background is just getting covered and it's becoming something. I don't know what it's becoming, but it's becoming something, which is just exciting, I think. And I'm just enjoying this very nice slow process of putting the pieces on and seeing where it's going to take me. Just put a little piece in there, that will cover up that little gap. Okay, so this is what it's looking like now after I've put all the silver down and the turquoise. I think it's rather pretty. There's lots of different ways it could be going. And I don't know what you're seeing in it that way. I can see certain things. I can see rocks and sea and beach and land. Or if I turn it this way, what do we see this way? Interesting. It's so different when you turn it round. I feel as though lengthwise would be rather sort of conventional and it could absolutely become some sort of beach scene, but I'm not sure that's what it wants to be. I feel as though this is the way we're going to be hanging it for whatever reason. So that's quite interesting, isn't it? And I'd love to know what you think about it and where you think you would take it. Would you hang it vertically? Would you hang it horizontally? You know, which way would you work into it? And I'm going to show you the back because I think the back's always fun to see. So you can see if you're not used to seeing an embellished back of your work, that's what it looks like. It's punched all the little bits of fabric through, so it gives like a ghost, really. It's like a ghost of something. So you can see there's all of this excess fabric here, and yes, I want to be able to have the choice of turning it over and stitching it down like that or leaving it rough, but I think there's a lot hanging over the edge here that might just get in the way and it might just get a bit frayed. So I'm just going to sort of trim it back a little bit, just so it's not quite so kind of messy. I'll keep all my bits, never know what those bits might come in for, who knows. Just put the bits in there, you never know what they might come in for. So it's quite intriguing, isn't it, when we take a journey like this, and I loved I loved all the comments on taking a journey after last week's video that people said about taking their children out and their grandchildren out and walking with them or taking them on car journeys, and people even people getting lost in their car, which is so easy to do, I think, because we're so much on automatic pilot a lot of the time, aren't we? And I know if I'm going somewhere different, even out of my house, say, and I'm so used to going one particular way, if I don't really think about it, I'll turn the wrong way and I'll have to turn around and come back and go the other way. So it's quite interesting. I just love them all. I loved all the comments, as I say. I find it so fascinating. It's great to share these little stories. It's like a little insight in somebody else's life when you share a little story like that. And we're all just humans, aren't we? We're all just doing stuff and living our lives and trying to get through as best we can. So little bits of humour, like, you know, I don't know, what's the humour in getting lost? I don't know. There is some there somewhere afterwards, perhaps, when you're safely home. But there we go. So let's just turn it over and we'll have another look at it. Isn't it just good? I tell you what, if I did nothing else to it right now, I am absolutely loving these colours. They're positively glowing. And I know it's a bit brighter day today. I'm very grateful because my heating's back on in my studio, which is wonderful. And because I couldn't come down for a few days because it was really quite chilly. So as I haven't got a clue what I'm going to do with this next, I think I'm going to declare that it is in fact lunchtime, and I'm going to go put my soup on, and I will return to this and try and feel into what on earth it's going to be. This is what happens when you let your intuition run the show, but I think it's now time for me to put some of me into it. My artistic eye needs to come in now and sort of work with these colours, and who knows, it's very exciting, isn't it? So I'll go and have my lunch and I'll come back and we'll see where we're going to go with it. We might need to be adding some more fabrics in or some lacy bits. I don't know. Watch this space. So actually I'm looking at this again and I'm just thinking that I don't like that line across there. I don't know what you think, but it seems very abrupt, doesn't it? So I'm just wondering whether what I'd like to do, what I prefer to do, is have this kind of yellowy rather than bluey. Now I think that makes make much more sense. It's got a continuity now and it flows all the way down the piece. It's like a river of gold, isn't it? So I think what we'll do, excuse me, is this is the beauty of having used an embellisher and not yet stitched anything down. I can change my mind, and I absolutely reserve the right to do so, no matter what is going on. Doesn't matter how far it's gone, I'm going to change my mind and take all of these bits off. Ooh, that's a very satisfying little noise. You can see how it's actually embellished quite firmly, this piece, these little pieces, quite nice and textured on the other side. It makes a lovely sort of bobbly texture on the other side. So I'm just going to pull this one back a bit as well, and then I'll put some yellow pieces on and embellish those down, and we'll have another little look at it. I'll try and show you the whole thing. I'm just going to slide it along a bit so you get a feeling for the whole piece. I'm just doing this horizontally so you can see it all, and I think you might agree possibly that has made much more sense at this end, whether you do it horizontally or whether my preferred way, which I think is going to be up this way. Obviously, I'm sorry, you can't obviously see the whole of it because the camera films in landscape, not portrait. So I think that's made much more sense of this, and I hope you'll agree. You'll have to let me know in the comments what you think and where you think we might go next with this. So I'll say cheerio for now, and I will see you again next week in my creative space, and we will find out what comes next. Bye for now. Ba ba da ba ba ba. Bye bye.